Production. Welcome everyone to the Fashion Matrix podcast. This is Pablo Mentor, your host. You already know how it is. And today I have very, very special guests. I'm very excited because of my brother, Brian Casella, right over here, Brian Casella. Because of him, I got to meet Amos, the baker, and Joseph, the owner of the bakery. And before we get started, I just want to introduce them. They own a bakery, and I want to pass it to them.
Hi, everybody out there. A bakery is an interesting word. It is called a bakery officially.
Oh, well, yeah.
But we look more like, what would you call it, Brian? More like an infirmary. Sometimes I feel an infirmary.
Yeah, right.
We help a lot of people here,
yeah,
which I know people think is crazy, that generally a bakery just promotes diabetes and that does not heal diabetes.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
We have diabetic programs and blood pressure programs to help get people into health and off the meds. And that's what we really specialize in. And we have about 300 people, Amos?
At least
300 people that we've dealt with that have gotten off meds. It's unbelievable. People come in, it's crazy. Yeah, people come in, they're like, I'm on blood pressure medications for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden, once they follow the diet, it's all diet.
Yeah. So I didn't introduce you guys the proper way then, because you're not just a bakery, as you guys can tell. It's way beyond that. And people that have been following me for a while, you guys know that I'm all about teas and natural remedies, and I promote teas all the time. So what got you started into this? You guys have always been vegan or into teas, or
I'll tell you how we got into it. Actually, it started with my younger brother.
Okay.
My younger brother had serious digestive issues.
Yeah.
People know something like an IBS, for people who are familiar with that concept.
Yeah.
And basically the whole family together all the siblings, parents, me, made a decision. We're throwing out all the junk. Yeah. No more junk. We're going to eat real food, as we like to call it.
Yeah. And
that was really the beginning of the journey.
Okay.
And what was interesting in the beginning of the journey, we thought, like a lot of people, bread is bad. You got to stay away from bread. Gluten's evil. It's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And they're right, but they're wrong. Because if you think about it, people used to live, especially if you're from a poor demographic, people used to live, depending upon your culture, off of bread and water.
Exactly.
Bread and water was the diet. And if you're lucky, once a week, you get a treat, that was it. And today we know the bread does make you fat.
Yeah.
The bread bloats you. The bread causes digestive issues. And there are many reasons for that. I actually studied bread making. I'm so glad that you brought it up, because I had some questions that probably you guys know more about. Something called the leaky gut syndrome, right? That is something that everyone has, especially in America, right? But correct.
Does it have to do with the bread?
A lot of it has to do with the bread. And I'll tell you first of all, there are many. I'll explain to you the difference between the old bread people used to eat in the past and the bread today.
The good bread, right?
Exactly. The real bread. I call it the real bread. The ancient bread and today's bread. The major difference started in the Industrial Revolution. When they wanted to monetize bread making. Because how was bread made? People used to have a stone mill at home, or you'd have a town mill. You'd bring the grain to the mill. You'd stone grind it. Right? And then you bring it back home that day and start the baking process immediately. The big company said, that's too slow. We don't want that process. So what did we do? Get rid of the stone milling, because stone milling, for people who don't know, it's a much slower process. And when you stone grind, it doesn't grind the flour as fine. It's more coarse. So when they said we have to speed up the process, they made high-speed roller mills out of metal, which grind hundreds, if not thousands of pounds per minute. So you have these huge factories grinding hundreds of pounds per minute, shooting it out, but it grinds it at a very high temperature, very high speed. It changes the molecular structure of flour the way it's supposed to be. And it makes it ultra refined.
There we go.
So when you have this refined flour, every single time you eat it, it spikes your sugar, and then you get a huge drop. And we're eating these foods, these processed foods, multiple times a day. That's what's happening. Ups and downs, ups and downs. And what does that do? It puts a lot of strain on your body. Your body has to work extremely hard to digest it, and you get the sugar spikes and down. It wears down your pancreas. That's what causes diabetes. Everybody knows
exactly.
It's the constant sugar spikes, ups and downs.
Would you say, by the way, everybody knows Brian? I don't even introduce him because everybody knows it. I'm doing my show. Brian is there. Come on. Would you say that's part of the American diet, which is why people always tell Brian, I don't know about you guys, that I'm from Mexico City. Everybody knows that. Everyone doesn't have energy here. Oh, I don't know what's happening, man. I don't feel like having energy. And they ask Brian all the time, man, what are you doing? Are you on coke? Or are you smoking something? Because you have so much energy. And Brian always said, well, it's the good quality, the good food. You guys think it's because of what you just said, because of that spikes, all that you're putting your body to work too much, and they're exhausted.
People know they eat the regular, let's say they take a fast food sandwich.
Yeah,
it's very common, especially as you get older. They'll eat that for lunch and they'll fall asleep at their desk. This is I had so many people tell me this. I'm going to tell you, my dad, people who didn't know, my dad, before he got into this, had diabetes.
I couldn't lift up my arm. I couldn't.
My dad had inflammation.
I can box right now. I box with them. I spar with them. I couldn't lift up. And I'm 62. I unload a truck. 10 years ago, I couldn't do this.
There you go.
Because I got rid of all the inflammation, all the arthritis. So you start realizing it's all a scam.
Yeah.
The arthritis and I got diabetes 2 years ago.
Okay.
This is my medicine, guys. Here it is. That's my medicine. This repairs the pancreas and knocks down and knocks down blood pressure. This bread, which I know Brian started coming here, he was looking at this. What is this stuff?
Right.
And now he's a fan. And now you're a fan.
I remember he texted me back home, back in Mexico City. He was like, bro, you have to come here and taste this bread. It's the best.
This is the only one in the United States that I know of. Maybe in California, I don't even know there. But I know we ship all over the United States, and we're talking now about shipping it to Mexico, because people that are aware, people that are aware, if they have issues or really don't have issues, like you guys don't have issues, and people that have issues, they had enough of the medication. What do? Well, it's very simple. 6 of these cups a day of the teas. This bread, no other bread, forget the Ezekiel, it's all a scam. No good.
Everyone, I want to talk about that because you're starting to the whole thing about getting into vegan, and just by being vegan doesn't mean that you're healthy.
That's right.
There's a lot of bullshit involved in that because of all the money he made and all that. For example, I mean, I don't want to name any brand, but we all know that it tastes just like meat. And even though it's vegan, it's bullshit. It's made out of crap, right? So it actually damages you. So then we started vegan, and then we started moving into the superfoods and into the alkaline diet and all these things. And that's why he got into you guys, right? And it tastes so different. It tastes so different. So what about you guys? Did you start it from the get-go without being vegan and all these things with Ezekiel bread, or you just
without even getting it? The Ezekiel, first of all, one dead away giveaway to anything, whether it's an Ezekiel or any of these other breads, look at the ingredients.
Of course.
Our bread has 3 ingredients. We stone grind in the morning. Amos, he's the baker here, and he spoke kind of quickly. He's used to doing it. We stone grind in the morning, ferment for 8 hours, no yeast. How do you say yeast in Spanish? Levadura. Yeah. And sea salt. That's it. That's the only ingredients. You go into Ezekiel breads, what are they doing? They're not grinding, they're sprouting. They're putting in, and because of their system, they're not doing it properly. They're adding in gluten. There's huge amount. They're adding in cellulose, which is binders. A lot of them have xanthan gum. Xanthan gum is cancer. Yeah. This is the bread.
Oh, we're gonna go through all the stuff you guys have to offer.
You asked me earlier about leaky gut syndrome, right? Which is very common. I'm going to tell you, because you also asked about other brands of bread. I believe a major cause for the leaky gut, any bread or flour which says it's whole wheat, if you look at the ingredients, it will say either one of 2 words. It will either say natural fiber, and we think, oh, natural fiber, that's good.
Yeah.
Anytime an ingredient list says natural something, you got to think twice, because everything qualifies as natural, literally everything. So do you know what the natural fiber they're using in the whole wheat breads is?
I have no idea.
It's cellulose. You know what cellulose is?
Yeah.
Wood shavings from the pine trees. Pine trees, they're using, a human body cannot digest wood shavings. And the pine trees are treated with 2 chemicals which are very cancerous and dangerous. But forget about the chemicals. You're saying what's causing leaky gut? What's leaky gut? It's when basically the stomach lining is worn down. I believe a large part of that is when we start eating these microscopic wood chips. It's literally giving us these mini ulcers all along our gut lining and colon, and this is causing IBS, leaky gut, indigestion, you name it. The body's trying to right now repair itself 24 hours a day, because every time we eat those whole wheats,
It's damaging more.
It's damaging the intestines even more.
So I want to add something. Is that directly in line with the whole natural flavors thing, where you know they passed something in legislation saying it could mean like 2,000 different ingredients?
MSG is natural flavor.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. It could be anything. You
You don't really know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
If they say MSG, then they're telling us at least what the natural flavor is. But when they say natural flavors, I have no idea. I have no idea.
No, one other thing that we didn't touch on, Pablo, is what sort of grains we use.
Of course.
That's the next discussion.
Yeah.
And you start saying, what's so complicated? Why aren't there bakeries like this all over the country? Because it's complicated and time consuming. You have to, we have our own farmers. You have to go, we're sourcing ancient grains. This is one grain that we use called einkorn, for those who can see it. This ancient wheat. The other one is the superfood of kamu. So we have two different grains that we use. Both are in the wheat family. All of the modern grains are less than 50% wheat. And they're also using what's called, what's it called again? The midget wheat, right? It's called like
the hybridizing.
Hybridizing.
So you get larger. So the reason they did this was to get larger yields.
Yields, all about yields.
But in food, when you go up quantity, you lose the quality.
Yeah, of course.
That's what happens. And then you have soil depletion, so you're not getting any nutrients. So you got to know the right farmers.
I was asking, in fact, the farmers, because I'm not a farmer.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to claim to be. I go to the guys who are doing it. And I asked them, tell me, like, for instance, the einkorn. The grains are really small. They almost look like sesame seeds. When you see HRS, which is the modern wheat, they're like this big. They're like a really large piece of rice.
Yeah.
This was the original wheat. And what happens is the yield on this is 10% of the yield on modern wheat. It's very simple.
Yeah.
So the price is 10 times to 15 times the price. That's why, you know, there's no shortcut to health. You have to pay a lot of times the price. But on the long term, it's so cheap. It's such a bargain. Getting rid of diabetes. If I'm telling you the price, I'm asking you guys, what do you think a typical thing they're coming here to get rid of diabetes or blood pressure? What's the cost?
I don't think you can even get rid of it because it's a continuous.
What I mean is get off the meds and stable.
I have no idea.
$300. The teas, after 2 weeks, you follow the diet. You go vegan. The teas, the breads.
I want to talk about that. Because I think most people don't realize how much health has to do with what you eat, right? I'm an testament to that. You guys are an testament, right? We are the living example of good food. I remember I used to give him a lot of crap because he turned vegan, and he's Argentinian, and you know, me being a Mexican, we have that macho culture. I'm like, man, I eat meat, and you know, blah blah blah.
Well, the Argentinians also eat meat, right?
A lot of meat.
That's actually what they export. A lot of meat, a lot of cows.
It's in the culture. It's in the culture.
So I would give him crap like, hey, you know, you're turning into a, you know, come on, man.
Soy boy.
Soy boy. Come on, man, whatever. And then he told me, because I had problems with my digestive system. And at one point, I've never said this on camera before. At one point, I thought I had cancer because I was so bad all the time. Every time I ate, I felt like shit. I felt so bad. I had no energy. I really felt like, man, there's something wrong with me. So I went to the doctor, and of course they did a whole scans and blah, blah, blah. And well, we cannot find what it is, but you have to come again and again. It's like, dude, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm going to die. I don't know. And then I told Brian, like, man, I feel so bad. And my eyes, you can see my eyes, and I felt terrible, right? You can see it because I've been doing this for a long time. You can see the first video that I started versus now. And he told me, dude, go vegan. Try it for 1 day, a week. Try it. Just do it for 1 week. And I'm like, you know what? All right. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
We say we're going to do something. We do it. We don't even think about it. Okay, I'll do it for 1 week. No meat at all. Because you see, a lot of people probably, they come here as asking for your advice. And, you know, I want to learn about, get rid of my diabetes. But they're like, but I don't want to stop eating meat. You know, but I don't want to stop doing that. But what if I still do this? You know, they don't really immerse themselves into what you guys do, right?
He had a customer come in while I was here the second time.
Yeah.
The guy's like, well, and he finally admitted it. He's like, well, I would rather die and keep eating meat than
that was, he was Argentinian.
Get out of here.
He was Argentinian.
I'd rather die.
But I think you were here when the other guys with the blood pressure, diabetes.
The guy that was sitting down at the Dominican guy.
And well, he had IBS and other people. I don't know if you were in here with the other times. There are always people coming in.
Yeah.
But I tell them, which is an answer to what you're saying. The answer psychologically is do 2 weeks.
2
And
weeks.
I tell them 2 weeks.
I did one, but 2 weeks is the best.
2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you're going to see such a difference. I tell them go vegan, no rice, because all the rice is arsenic. People don't talk about the danger
they
of
have
rice.
plastic in it, right? As well.
It's got arsenic and
metals.
You know,
it goes in water.
it hits my diabetes. I've tried every rice, hits it. And no, I don't have any of the chickpeas. What do you call them in Spanish? The garbanzo beans. They hit my diabetes.
Oh.
I can have a little bit of the beans, like black beans are okay, don't go crazy. But staying off
Mexican.
of this, it's hard. It's hard. And of course, no corn and no soy. Because
no corn. But I have a question over there because in Mexico, of course, we eat tortillas all the time. But I got ahead of like the real people that actually grow different type of corn, not the corn.
They're growing the ancient corn.
Yeah, and it's black actually. The corn is black, and it's purple, and there's so many different.
No pesticides.
Right? No, not at all.
Clean.
It's super clean. I met the person that actually grows, very humble person, and they add something to it though that I don't know.
Lime. They add lime. Correct? Yeah, you have to add lime to it.
Is it good? Is it bad? Because I don't know about that.
I have to try it.
Yeah.
If you bring it,
it's really small, right? It's really small. Like it's not like the.
If those are the original
they
corns,
told me
which haven't been modified, there's a chance that
supposedly you can process corn.
That's
your
correct.
body doesn't know how to process corn.
That's right.
But that's why they add lime.
They add the lime.
But I don't know, because
so
I'd rather die than start eating tortillas and tacos.
What you have to do is you have to try it. You know, if you bring me some, because I'm a good litmus test. My body right now is so sensitive. Anything bad hits my sugar.
That's what happens. Yeah. When you
I'll feel it. I'll be like, oh, this doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I'll get either in my tooth or I'll just be very lethargic. I was cheating a little, like not cheating when I first got diabetes. And I have a lot of doctors come in here, and the guy looked at me, he was a natural doctor, and he said, you got diabetes. I told him, I can't lift up my arm, it's killing me.
Yeah.
What's connection of arthritis, diabetes? Everything.
Okay. Yeah, of course, inflammation, right?
So it'll go, some people, I've had people come in, they have asthma, never had asthma before they got asthma. That was a friend of mine, this lady who's very skinny, who came in here all blown up.
Yeah.
From the foods, she's getting asthma. So what, of course, so do the doctors give her?
Asthma medicine.
Yeah, what's asthma medicine?
Boom.
Steroids, I mean, horrible stuff.
Horrible.
Once she changed her diet, she went from a 20 dress down to a 6, which is what, that's it. No asthma. It worked. This is how it works. And it's eczema. You can't treat that. It's
I
not
used to have that.
Yeah, that's all food.
Asthma. Yeah.
That's all food.
Asthma, I do.
So arthritis, all this stuff is all this, and brain fog. People don't understand the brain fog. So you're dealing a lot, of course, you told me with, that's what I asked you, a lot with, motivational. How are you going to motivate somebody that they're going out eating this garbage and they have so much brain fog they can't even think?
So I want to talk about that for a second though too, because a lot of people, I'm an image consultant, right? So people come to me because they want to look good, they want to feel their best. I tell them, okay, and especially you too, right? I want to make more money and I want to look better and blah blah blah, but they don't feel even comfortable in their own skin, because maybe like that, I cannot even lift my arm. How the hell am I going to wear a suit that is going to make me look good if I don't feel good with my own body, right? I have brain fog. I'm like,
how many people
can't even think?
Yeah, how many people you talk to and you're saying something,
and I tell them,
and their brain, that's the food.
They look at the floor. Look, we tell them
that's all leaky gut. So from the leaky gut, the toxins, as opposed to going out, when you go to the bathroom, they're going into your bloodstream and they're lodging in your brain, lodging in here. That's what
I tell that all the time too. The mind, people think that only the mind is here, but we have neurological pathways and connections in the gut, the heart, and the brain as well. So of course, if you're eating bad food, they can't even think straight, right? How the hell are you going to think that you're going to look better, have more confidence, have more self-esteem, make more money, create new businesses, connect, and do certain things such as this, when you can't even think right? You can't even think straight,
because the dopamines are manufactured in the stomach.
So would you say it's premeditated? They I don't want to get into like a conspiracy theory and all that, but would you say that they're doing it on purpose?
What's the definition of bioengineering? For instance, all of the food companies are doing it. You go into a McDonald's and you see somebody sitting there and they're like this, they can't even move, and they're consuming two Big Macs, right? They're consuming a Coke, they're consuming a milkshake, and they're consuming a fries, which by the way have 47 ingredients. Now, all of these products are chemicals to get a person to consume. It's not about getting someone like our brain to have sustenance and superfood and make you feel good. It's to get the person to buy and consume more.
Yeah,
It's a very, very good business model.
but yeah. And you know you're in the presence of someone who's actually knows stuff, because the first thing I asked you, why don't you go national and open more stores? This is so beautiful. Everyone should be doing this. You told me no, exactly because of what you just said, right? You don't want to.
It's agribusiness. You know, this is not something you're going to go. We're going to go on Shark Tank and they're going to look at me. Bring me scientific data. I got 300 people. That's not scientific data. Scientific data is paying off.
Funds them.
Funding. And you know, like we were talking about that. You guys were knocked off on what? Everything. Why? Because
because we talk about all
you talk about things, and but in the meantime, what you say, but they can go and show a McDonald's commercial or a Jack in the Box commercial, and come on.
Doesn't make any sense, man.
Even the regular medical field will tell you you cannot eat those products.
The medical industry, they don't want you to talk about diet. They think like, what? I've had people, because back home I always recommend teas, and they look at me like, are you recommending teas and diet to heal people? Are you crazy? They look at me like, are you crazy? Because I recommend mushrooms. A lot of mushrooms are really good for your body as well. And they're like, are you crazy? Because they are so.
But you have in Mexico, I know I have some Mexican customers, and I know you have a lot of, especially among indigenous people. They're much more just like
indigenous people.
I've half my customers are from the islands.
Yeah,
and from Jamaica, from Haiti, they're used to they're used to having
the
sour
teas, the herbs.
Teas, yes, of course.
Natural remedies are more normal in their
more normal.
Yeah.
So Mexico, here, I mean. But Americans.
Wait, I'm sorry. Alternative medicine.
Alternative medicine.
But they label it as that. Even in Mexico, they still look at you like, oh, this mumbo jumbo stuff. And like, no, man, this is years.
But
the Aztec people,
even though with the let's say the medical, even with my opinion about them, but a lot of things they'll tell you, do not go and consume fast foods. It's bad for you, and the people don't listen.
So we were saying the drug commercials. Oh, take this for leaky gut, but these are the side effects. And they'll give you literally 20 million things on like 10 seconds.
I can't believe some of these drugs that people come into me. And there are a lot of people they put. And another thing is they put everyone today on chemo, and they don't tell them they're on chemo.
Poison, man.
And I'm like, why are you on chemo? Well, it's good for some. My doctors put me on. I said, or they tell me I'm not on chemo. Yeah. And I give me the name of the drug you're on. You look it up. Of course, it's chemo. Anything with plast is chemo. Or there's another one, meth. There's another one they give with METH. They give a lot of this meth, which of course methamphetamines. That's another chemo they're using. Wow. And this meth that they're prescribing for a lot of the autoimmune diseases.
Of course.
And that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah,
this is the explosion. Right, this is the explosion of younger people.
Yeah.
That they're and every day someone walks in with a new one. I'm like, I never heard of it.
MS, Crohn's, these are all
autoimmune things, right? Yeah.
And the way they're dealing with it is they don't tell them to change the diet, as you said, and they tell them, let's numb the situation so you don't feel the pain anymore. And then when you start numbing and numbing and numbing day after day for years, you eventually explode because they compromise your immune system. They're called actually immune system suppressors. Yeah, that's what they're called.
Right. Even the name
immune system suppressor. I don't know if I should say the brand name. It's the best-selling drug in the country. Humira is number one. They grossed $20 billion in one drug in 2020. And what it does is you take an injection into your stomach and it suppresses your immune system. So your body stops working at a high function, right? Because then you're too sensitive. But we get, a lot of times the after effects of people who've been on it for years. And then they start developing a lot of other issues because their immune system stopped working.
It gets worse.
So now they develop infections and you name it.
It's the business. It's a business, literally, right? And you are the product, literally. That's how
it's like that statistic that I brought up. I think I brought it up to you the first time I came in, where like legally, if you ask a doctor, what's like the patient to cure rate or something like that, where you ask them, hey, if we are to give 100 people this drug, what percentage of them will actually see a result versus how many are getting side effects? And I think for like a cholesterol drug, like a popular one, it was out of 100, like 1 would see positive results, but 15 out of 100 would get bad side effects.
And they'll approve that drug. They will approve
the same thing with surgeries and all that. And legally, if you ask a doctor, I forget the actual term, I have to look it up on my phone, they have to legally give it to you, but nobody knows that. But then when I say that, I get censored, but that's a real thing. But what drug would make sense where 15 times as many people get side effects versus somebody getting helped. Why would it get it approved first off, right?
Yeah.
But like, why would they even, you know what I mean? So it goes to what we're saying. It's all about money.
So yeah,
you know, and some are worse. That was just one drug that I looked at, and it was like this presentation I saw from an actual doctor who got out of the field because he was sick of, you know, kind
The
of
straight doctor, the straight doctors get
Yeah.
out. They don't want to work.
exactly.
It's very
crazy.
hard.
And if you get a doctor promoting this, they'll probably strip away their license or something like
Well,
that.
it's funny. I have doctors that promote it. I do have beautiful doctors. I have some. I mean, it's you know, when they understand, and I have some doctors that come in the back door and they say to me, listen, I in here, this is a crazy story. She was a colorectal surgeon.
Okay.
And her son got Crohn's.
Yes.
So she comes in here and she says, you know, I'm a doctor. She was very open about it. I said, yeah, great. What can I do for you? She goes, well, my son has Crohn's. I'm a colorectal surgeon. I'm like, why are you here? She says, well, I want you to help my son.
I don't want to go the conventional.
I don't want to go the conventional route. She said she knows that those medications don't work.
She even knows it.
She bought me special teas. She bought. But by the way, this is not uncommon.
And they have to come into the back door.
Well, sometimes she came to the front door.
Yeah.
I had another guy was upset with me.
Yeah.
He's a diabetic doctor. So he called me up and he was very upset. Everyone's gonna really laugh at. He was very upset because he doesn't like my hours. I say we open up because you know our bread has to ferment for 8 hours. So we don't open up until 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And he's at my door at 10.
Come on.
I'm like, you're a doctor, and everyone is complaining about you guys, and he was like, you guys got to have better hours.
You gotta.
So you know the diabetic doctor, he knows that, because I always tell people, you got to go to anybody, even anybody, come in here, go to any natural doctor, go to regular doctor. You want to know how many people have been healed for this ailment.
Yeah.
And think of it like you bring your car to a mechanic. They're gonna fix your brakes. Okay. The guy doesn't fix your brakes. Now you're gonna bring your car back. Maybe you made a mistake. Okay, does it again. The third time you crash into a pole. You're gonna go back a fourth time now, right? That's the medical system. I asked the people, don't go to me or don't go to anybody. I'm not a doctor, by the way. I'm just, this is natural remedies that work for me as a diabetic.
For your information, we're not doctors.
Not doctors.
Disclaimer.
Exactly. I say, go to a natural doctor. Go to somebody else who has another idea that you think that makes sense to try. But why would you keep on taking these things that are making you feel bad?
Encouraging people to ask questions, which apparently now is illegal.
Critical thinking. I think critical thinking is
real quick.
against.
In California, I shared it. They were trying to pass a bill saying that anybody who posts any information that's like the opposite of COVID, like what the mainstream is pushing, jeopardizes their license. They can have their medical license revoked.
Oh, doctors,
and they're going to be banned on social media.
Yeah.
You told me, So, but then again, even in quotes on the bill, it said misinformation. Who the hell's deeming what misinformation is? Because the
CDC.
We bring receipts. Like if I quote something, like we're talking about here, like this whole doctor thing, I'll look up where it was and I'll put the actual, footnote and all that, and I still get censored. And that's like a government document. Or if you cite something from the government and you say, hey, this is on the FBI website, blah, 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 they still censor you. So it's
even
like,
though
even if you put
the source
and the source, they still censor you, which is idiotic.
It's evil and it's wrong and stupid.
Yeah.
So what are some of we're talking about side effects and all that. What would be some of the side effects of your wonderful products?
Get rid of diabetes.
That's
a side effect.
There you go.
Get rid of blood pressure.
So I said in short, my dad right now, he's 61, right? 61 now?
62.
62 now almost, right?
Perfect.
He's right now, I'm his son, so a lot younger and a lot stronger, a lot more energetic than he was at 51. There's no question. Like I said, when we opened up, was it 8 years ago? We bring in 10,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds of grain in. My father cannot unload the truck. Me and my brother unloading the truck. Right now, my dad is helping us unload hundreds and thousands of pounds of grain at the age of 61. He lost a lot of weight. He doesn't say he lost a lot of weight.
That's awesome.
My dad went from 42 pounds, I think, to 36.
Stayed.
Wow. Blood sugar, no medication, blood sugar balanced. Right? Energy. Can't compare. My dad's better shape than half the guys who are 45 years old.
You can tell the skin.
Look, everyone says my skin, and they look at the skin.
Great skin.
And the other thing, which is a whole nother discussion, is of course on men, the huge problem with libido. Half the people coming in, if you're on
medications,
you get medications.
Kidneys. What does it do? They wear down your kidneys. People, this is I'll get it. My favorite product. My dad's favorite product is the mirror. He calls it the miracle cystosty.
I want to talk about that
in a moment. my favorite product is the Boost. Because what is the Boost? I actually had when I opened up adrenal fatigue, right? I didn't know what I had. I was working a lot of hours. I was working like, you know, just opening up, you go crazy, right? 10 hours, stressed. Okay. And I couldn't fall asleep at night. And then finally I fall asleep. I'd wake up. I couldn't even open my eyes. And I thought to myself, maybe it's psychological. I said, what's wrong with me? And it should be. I'm like, what's the problem? I can't figure out what the problem is. So we actually, one of our customers, you know, he's an actual doctor. He said, maybe you have adrenal fatigue. I didn't even know what is adrenal fatigue. Know what it is. I didn't even know what it was. I started looking it up, and I realized that you have adrenal glands, which are right, which they're attached to the kidneys, right? Attached to the kidneys. They were attached and they're right on top of the kidneys, and they produce a lot of testosterone, androgens, many of the hormones. Also part of the hormones for metabolizing food, for metabolizing carbs and oil, if I remember correctly. Wow. And I didn't know actually why. I was actually eating really good, and I realized we had gas ovens. I was having a gas leak from the oven every day. I'm inhaling, so it put a lot of strain on my adrenal gland. I needed to reboot, and I found the Boost, and I started taking it. I started feeling results with it, like immediate. First day, I was already like, whoa. I took it at night. The first, I'm like, I actually slept, and I wake up, and I'm able to wake up. And I'm like, it's not psychological. This was a problem because I went to non-gas now because I'm like, I'm not ever gonna deal with that again. That's a lot of stress. But then of course people know the adrenal glands are sitting on top of the kidneys. In Chinese medicine, when they want to deal with libido issues, they actually deal with kidneys. They do kidney tonics, right? Because your kidneys in Chinese medicine are very, very connected to your qi flow for libido. And the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys. Those two are very interconnected. People on medications, diabetic medications, cholesterol medications, look at the side effects. All cause kidney failure and kidney problems because the kidneys and liver have to work extremely hard not to filter out the toxins from the medication. So you want to replenish your kidneys and you want to replenish your adrenal glands. When you start doing that, when you omit the chemicals and you start to intake the herbs which strengthen your adrenal glands, obviously libido, which every guy wants libido. Every guy wants libido. Libido, energy, better recoveries, better workouts, better metabolism. You reverse the clock. You become younger. I literally felt that I'm young. I'm like, after doing it for a few weeks, I'm like, whoa. And all of this is natural, of course. All this is herbals and all that stuff. There you go. That's it. That's what I want to say. So is it cool to claim that just by the food that you guys promote, we can actually cure a lot of people, right? You guys can cure almost everything, which is I mean, I'm not a doctor, but everything has to do with inflammation. The person does. He commits. You know what? It's very simple. I'm not eating the toxic crap food, and you're not addressing the symptom. You're addressing the core, right? Which is the food, the diet. The diet is the bullshit that if you eat bad stuff, you'll get bad results, right? Because even I think about it like that. The fact that you couldn't lift up your arm, it's just a symptom for something deeper, which is bad diet, right? That's right. Or not getting the proper iron, minerals, all of this stuff, right? So is it cool to say that you guys can actually enhance all of these things, all of the problems that you guys are experiencing? I mean, I don't want to overclaim it. Oh, man, you can become the best version of yourself, but yeah, you can. I mean, I think about it in this way. This is where it starts. This is what it starts. This is what it starts. Food. The food, right?
Even athletically, dude, like, because I'll be 36 in a couple months. I still box, I do calisthenics, and people half my age, I'm kicking their ass. And they're like, oh, man, I don't have any energy. Oh, I can't get it up. Like all that stuff. I'm dude, I'm twice your age.
They can't get it up. That's why I've been getting a lot.
I recover quicker than you. I have already passed my peak apparently, and I'm still better than you athletically. Mentally, you're so sharp, like the brain fog. A lot of people don't even know. They don't even know what it's like not to have brain fog. So that already baseline for them is so low. And when you start explaining these things to them, it's so out of like right field, you know?
You're right.
Because that claim is the one that I get the most is I have to be on drugs because I have so much energy. But it starts with this. Is it a commitment? Of course, but you're not like, this is the biggest thing. And I want to pass it back to you guys with this. This stuff doesn't taste bad. It's delicious. Right.
Some of the olive oil.
Like when I tell people and encourage them to make these changes, like this stuff, it's not like, because people think, oh, well, if I make a change, I'm gonna have to be eating grass. They're like, oh, you're vegan? What do you do? Scoop up grass and
lettuce and all that.
This stuff is delicious, man. And it has 3 ingredients. Like I now smell when we go by the restaurants, the smell of it, the
Horrible.
MSG and all that, and it makes me sick. We had
too.
a couple in front of us on one of the planes coming back,
Eating Chick-fil-A.
eating a fried chicken.
I remember that. I know
And
that.
it
Horrible.
smelled so bad that I literally was getting sick to my stomach.
Yeah, me too.
Right. So I think it'd be a good time now for you guys to maybe start going through and showcasing some of the products, because you guys have so many. They're all delicious.
Delicious. By the
Well,
way.
you're starting to get with the bread, of course. I always like the system. In fact, let me go over the diet that I do that I could recommend for people. I get up in the morning, 2 cups of the cistus tea, which is 2 things. Cistus tea from Albania, very high quality organic tea from detox tea from.
Show it right here.
Get it close by.
Here you go, guys.
So we import this from Albania. This we import from China, organic green tea. The combination of the 2 of these, this is an anti-inflammatory. This is a detox tea. The combination helps to repair the pancreas.
Early in the morning, no food.
I have 2,
Okay.
2 cups. I drink 5 to 6 cups a day, and this repaired my pancreas. And a lot of people, of course, we have maybe about 300 people that both the blood pressure. In fact, a lady from LA, which I know you're from there, Catalina Avenue, just now reordered from me. She said 2 weeks. She's on this, got off everything. She's her blood. She had blood pressure.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I don't want to sound ridiculous. I look at my dad, so we get a lot of people from the islands, Jamaicans, Caribbeans. Had a lot of people who've been taking medications for either blood pressure, blood sugar, which is everyone has these problems of, the whole society has it. They're on the medications for a decade, 5 years, 10 years. People within a few weeks balance out their numbers so much, feel so good, they're able to eliminate or remove.
We're talking about
Weeks.
weeks,
Yeah,
guys.
we're talking very quick.
You feel it
Very quick.
immediately.
They'll drop. If you go on my website, they'll drop. I have about 100 reviews. The things that people write is crazy.
Yeah. You hear that, Mom? You hear that, Mom? Because I know you don't want to change that. You hear that, Mom?
That's the problem. The problem is the people that are addicted, and there's engineering done on the foods. The people are very, very addicted to the food. So really, it's not about Brian. It's not about Pablo. It's not about us. It's about the people making a decision. And I always say, do 2 weeks. You did 1 week. It's do 2 weeks. 2 weeks and change it. And so this is it. 2 of these in the morning. 11 or 12 o'clock. Sorry, even a little before. I figure 10 to 11. I'll have fruit and vegetables. Now they say fruit and vegetables will raise up your blood sugar. I have watermelon. He sees me watermelon, mango, nothing. It doesn't hit my blood sugar at all. I'll tell you what it does afterwards. Doesn't hit at all. It's because it's not processed sugars.
Of course.
I have my first meal 2, 3 o'clock. Half a loaf of this bread, just like you're having about, and that's very full. You just had a slice now. You're gonna feel two slices.
I eat the whole thing because I enjoy this, but
you'll feel full. I can't eat whole bread.
Yeah,
you'll feel full. And I cut up a huge salad with this. That's what I have for lunch. Another 2 cups of tea. I feel so energetic, as opposed to the diabetic feeling. And anyone with diabetes knows that feeling. If I feel and anything, I am not eating that food. I haven't felt like that in a long time. And then at about 6, 7 o'clock, even later, 8 o'clock, I'll have my dinner, which will be like vegetables, fruits, and so on. Some soups. I'll have another bread. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of buckwheat, and then
you guys also do sweet bread, right? You also do some chocolate bread or something like that.
I don't eat that for diabetes. You guys eat for diabetes.
That's great, but it's like pure cacao.
Pure. This is for people who want to gain weight or people who don't have those issues.
That's really beautiful as well.
We're very, very good. These are different cinnamon buns, but this is not. Again, we're talking diabetes, blood pressure. I don't even have it here, and I won't sell it to the customer. People get upset with it. You have diabetes, but no.
Will not sell you the dessert.
Won't sell you the dessert.
If you have diabetes, I won't sell you the
dessert. Well, the only bakery, they look at me like I'm crazy, because I'm not selling to you. And I had to kick people out of the store. Get out.
I've seen it.
I kick people out of the store. I'm not selling it because that's not what we're here for. The other thing, of course, is the sea moss, which
I do that every morning with a smoothie. That's my breakfast. I do a smoothie.
Us too.
And I put the sea moss. People don't know sea moss has 92, 94 minerals. The body has.
That's all you need, baby.
And then there's the boost, which this is great for the adrenals. And for the male libido, and women also, even for women, but for the adrenal. And then we have 2 other things. This is specifically for women called balance. Over 50% of the women have problems with the thyroid.
Thyroid issue.
And you say, I can't lose weight. I can't lose weight. I can't lose weight. A woman that they get the thyroid problems, you cannot lose weight if your thyroid is not in check. This tea, this diet, and the balance will balance out your thyroid. And we have a lot of women with those issues. And it's also very connected to the autoimmune diseases. And this, women are much more affected by the lupus and these type of diseases than the men, again, the thyroid issues. And we have something here called Immune Pro. And that's a Dr. Sebi formula. For those who know Dr. Sebi, these are all natural herbs. And this is great to strengthen the immune system.
Autoimmune issues. You give that to people, they do the cystosty with the immune.
So look how simple this is. It's really, people come in, I'm on 12 medications. I mean, how can your body deal with that?
That's my mom. Yeah.
How can you deal with that?
I take this pill for my bladder, then I take this pill for my thyroid, then I take this for that.
Then I can't sleep, so then I gotta take a sleeping pill, and then I
can't wake up. Then I have to take one for waking up.
So the people walk around like zombies. They think they're so weak, and I feel bad for them. And I tell them it's not a lifestyle.
No, it's not.
And this is I think what you guys are talking about. It's image is here and inside, and the food. The image is holistic.
Exactly. It's the whole point, and it all starts here.
I got one question for everybody. One thing I noticed immediately getting off meat and changing my diet to more natural was I felt like almost instantly I had more control over my own emotions. Did you guys feel any difference in that category? Because for me, something as simple as getting cut off in traffic before used to kind of set me off, and now it's like zero reaction.
I mean, this is known that what you eat affects your personality, your emotions, and your emotions, right? People who tend to eat a lot of meat tend to be more aggressive.
Yep.
It's known, right?
Yeah. That happened to me as well. Did that happen to you guys? Did you get a little bit more like
in general, when you start eating healthier, right? And you really go into it, you develop, in my opinion, a lot more self-control.
Yeah.
And you develop it to a way where things which are bad for your body, originally you want them still, right? When you originally start changing, you're like, oh, I want that ice cream, or I want that pizza, or I want that steak, originally in your mind, when it's just making the change. But once you make that decision more permanent, you go by, you don't even want it. And you actually look at the other person, why are you eating that, man? Like that's you're gonna eat that, and you're gonna, if it's sugary, okay, you're gonna get tired afterwards, right? If it's meat, you're gonna, well, I was gonna get tired afterwards. But I mean, you develop a lot more self-control and self-awareness, in my opinion, once you change your diet, because everything starts functioning better. You got more.
That was key for me. And people like argue with me. I'm like, dude, it's not normal to feel this like unstoppable impulse to have a chip or ice cream. I'm like, that's not normal as a human being. They're like, oh no, but we all have cravings. I'm like, I don't. Well, you can have a steak in front of me.
The chip itself is gasoline for the most part. No, it is. Anything with glycols, look at the ingredients. Probably any of the glycols, the oils, the canola oils, these were all used in World War II.
Exactly. Canola oil.
They're literally, they're engine oils. Now, if you go into the meats and you go into the fish I get the biggest flack from. People come in and they think fish is just one. The fish in this country is toxic.
In most countries right now.
Yes. It is so dangerous.
Yeah.
And there are people coming in with parasite problems. There are people coming in with
metal toxicity.
There you go.
Heavy metal,
aluminum,
plastic, heavy metals.
I had two friends. They got off of meat and chicken and only the fish, but they were eating fish every day, and both of them started feeling bad. I told both of them, I said, check your metal levels. One of them had deadly metal levels. He was getting young, he was like the mid-30s, he was getting migraines, pains. He's like, what's wrong with you? I said, check your metal levels.
You got mercury poison.
Mercury.
And aluminum poisoning, mercury poisoning. I've had people with parasites that they literally, I had a lady from one bowl of sushi, 14 years suffering of parasites. Go try to get rid of them. It's really hard. And I felt bad for her. She's a young lady. She's 36, or she's been suffering. She's 17 from sushi. When people say this stuff to me, and then when you go into the meats, let's not even talk about vegan as far as other issues. The cows are sick.
Yeah, the cows are sick themselves.
So you're eating
the chicken is
the chickens are GMO, and now you're eating sick cows. In fact, it got to the point I was myself when after I got the diabetes, and I was spending some time in Spain. So interesting enough, I saw a farmer and he had goats, and that was his thing. He would go bring the goats out, and he said, I don't graze them here. I graze them in the mountains. Why are you grazing in the mountains? Because here they spray pesticides. So I drank that goat milk. I didn't get a reaction. Didn't get a reaction to diabetes. I come back to the States, and I'm going to not mentioning names, a local, reputable, right, Whole Foods type of whatever. And I'm drinking goat milk that's, or, USDA organic.
Yeah.
I'm getting, it's my diabetes.
Same thing.
I realize what it is. It's not just even the goats. They're not giving shots to goats. You don't give shots to goats. The goats are feeding.
Yeah, you can get shots through what you eat.
Yeah, you're feeding on sprayed grass.
Yeah.
You're eating glyphosates.
Yeah.
Immediately hit your. That's the problem. People don't understand. It's not just about a stamp with USDA. What are they feeding?
That doesn't mean anything.
So when we have our grains, I work with the farmers in the Midwest. These are my farmers. I go to them, grow for us. I take tens of thousands of pounds. That's our product.
That's what you got to do. Connect with people that actually do the things, and you talk to them, and you know that they're actually
ground level and up.
Because there's something happening right now. We make fun of it all the time because it's an industry, right? An industry booming, and all these labels: organic, raw. What else? Non-GMO,
cold press.
Oh, the vegan burger. How about the vegan burger?
Sustainably harvested,
ethically traded. All these
traded,
labels, and then you really look into it, and it's
all paid off.
It's all paid
Hey, we
off.
sign off. We'll give you a check for 100,000.
Here's a stamp. There you go, and it's still bad for you. So all these
Because
labels.
there's just a way. It's just a way just to get around.
just a
the
label.
so it has to be going back to you believe in that person. Who you dealing? What's the face behind?
Exactly, getting to know
Real
the person.
food. You get to know the farmer. You get to know the baker. In our case, you get to know wherever you're wherever you're going for.
Yeah.
And people have a disconnect that it's just a label. That label.
Yeah,
is,
they
like
don't
you
even know
said.
where their food comes from. That's why I grow my own food, and I recommend everyone.
You grow your own
I
food?
grow my own food.
You didn't tell us
I grow
that.
my own food. I grow not a lot because I live in an apartment, but there's no excuse. Whatever I can grow inside of my apartment, I grow it. And
I mean,
know
you're in a great area in Mexico. We should be growing.
Yeah.
We should be growing stuff.
there's a lot of stuff, and I told you that I met someone who is actually there growing. It's called Xochimilco. Everyone knows it. That follow me know what I'm talking about. It's like the ancient way the Aztecs used to do it. Like in it's like flooded all over the place. It's flooded. It's all water, and they place like small things of like mud. I don't know how they did it, but that's like how Mexico.
Islands,
I don't know how to say it in English, but
it's almost like a lily pad, but like actually.
that's how Mexico City was created. Actually, like the Aztecs. It's all full. It's a lake right there. And I met with some people that they still do it in the same way. The ancient way from the Aztecs, and they still do it in the same way. I'm like, man, this is what we have
Well,
to
I think
do.
you got to go outside Mexico City, go out to the country, where there's
But this is not. I mean, something that I want to say to begin to wrap it up. Maybe it's I think not enough people get the exposure like you guys do, right? I think people immediately think that eating healthy foods, taking care of your body and what you eat, it's boring. Like, oh man, I don't want to do that because it's boring and it's lame. It's like, oh man, no, I don't want to do that. It's cool to eat meat. It's cool to go with that guy that who's called the guy that Salt Bay. It's cool to go to that restaurant.
It's cool to go to Starbucks.
It's cool to go to Starbucks, and it's bullshit, right? It's cool, all these things, right? And people don't know how cool you guys are. It's so cool. This store is super cool, and it's cool to eat healthy food. And this, my God, this is fucking delicious. And I'm not just saying that because when something, I used to be a cook. I work in Spain, actually, in Pamplona. So I know my foods. The first time I came here, I was like, because sometimes some of the things that he eats, I'm like, you know what? You could use a little herbs, a little basil over here, because it might be good for your body, but it tastes like shit. I'm sorry, but it tastes horrible. How many times I tell you that?
All the time.
I came here, I tasted it. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. So what can you say to these type of people? Like
What we can say is very simple. We're gonna put the both of you on a 2-week diet.
There you go.
And we're gonna report. You're gonna report. I mean, you're already there. He's getting there.
Yeah,
we're gonna get him because he started after you, I assume.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get him like this.
Off of that, yeah.
And then, well, you're off of it, but we're gonna get you. You're at 80. We're gonna get you to 100, and then you'll come back after 2 weeks and say, "Man, this is unbelievable." And this is what I try with all the people that because we're also on radio. We're on weekly radio with, and I put the DJ. He's more with the Jamaican community. And I put him on the
program.
On the program. He talks about it, and he's very graphic. He says, and this what this. So it's not even just talking. I like results, and that's what I tell everyone. Come into here, try it for 2 weeks. You don't like it, go back and eat your fish. Go eat your salmon. Go ahead, whatever you want. Yeah. We have a different, this is the way to do it. Yeah. And if you try it for 2 weeks and you really follow the diet, it's not us, it's your body. It's like when you have a cut. I tell people you have a cut. You don't tell your body, oh, heal the cut. The body automatically heals. That's what goes on the inside. It's incredible. Yeah. This is how God created us. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. It's
all this stuff they're telling you about. You need an external poison to heal something. It's a scam. No, it's just business. People trying to work on you. Anybody goes says, even a natural doctor, they come, 15,000, 10,000. It's not true. It's not going to be.
Didn't they block on Instagram the hashtag with immunity and immune system and all that? They blocked it for a while because we would share this type of stuff, and if you hashtag immunity, natural immunity, immune system, they would automatically flag in the system and delete your post.
I'm surprised. I mean, we got censored because he shared something about a tea, the recipe. Hey, if you take this tea, boom, 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 these herbs,
and showing you while I'm making it, and showing the ingredient like salsa parrilla that you have in there and all that, like making it, and it got
deleted. That's a health claim. That's a health claim.
I specifically made a video where I consulted with my lawyer in California and said, what do I need to say and how do I need to say it to make sure I'm not censored or to prove that these bots are bullshit? He told me what to say. And I said it and immediately was flagged. And he said legally, like that was so tight and crisp, you couldn't be flagged if that system was legit. Wow. And I still automatically got flagged.
It wasn't automatically.
Yeah, automatically. They deleted it. I did one where English and Spanish, right? The Spanish one went through, but in English about my reasons. And I consulted with my lawyer again why I'm not going to be getting the jab, right? The vaccine. And same thing. The one in English immediately deleted. Struck my YouTube channel, threatened to delete it. The one in Spanish, I think, ended up going through like 2 months later because like they processed it and they said it was okay, even though I said the same thing in Spanish, like identical.
So we have to speak in Spanish.
That's it. I gotta learn Spanish.
I'm telling you, I gotta speak Spanish. Listen to the video in English. Like I literally followed the script. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm not advising anybody on what to do. This is my opinion. This is my life. And I literally did everything to the T. Immediately flagged, deleted everything.
I got the same thing both in English and Spanish because people getting the jab. It's a lot of heavy metals, a lot of that shit. And I recommended one specific thing that allows you to take away all the heavy metals. Whoop, they took it away. Independent fact checkers. What do you mean independent fact checkers? What independent fact? And they say partially false. They don't say it's false what you're claiming.
Partially.
It says partially false. But people don't understand that. And the moment, I mean, if you guys want to understand, if you guys want to make more money like Brian, if you guys want to be the best version of yourselves and look good and feel good and have the confidence to do you and be on your own skin, and I can be sitting here in front of you, in front of the president, in front of anybody I feel comfortable. It all starts with this. It all starts with what they promote. Literally, people think that, oh no, it's got to be something else. It's got to be some magic bullet. No, it starts with beautiful, good, wholesome products such as this, right?
I agree.
And I gotta take all of these, man. I'm gonna be taking all of this stuff back to Mexico. You guys watch.
And
all of you guys follow me in Mexico
worldwide.
We ship all over the United States.
Okay.
Yeah. We do ship internationally. The problem that you'll have is teas we can ship. You're gonna have problems, let's say, with the bread. You can do the teas, you can do the boost, this type of stuff.
You can do the teas, the herbs, because I've heard that it's kind of
every country probably has different.
Mexico, it's a little bit.
Every country has different.
Yeah.
I've shipped into Canada. I've shipped into Europe. No problem. I don't know about Mexico.
Because I could ship you a lot of the herbs because Mexico is the third largest or the second largest country with all herbs. We have all the herbs in the world. Every herb you can find it there. I think China is number one. I think Mexico is number two, and I don't know if Brazil or something like that is number three. But Mexico, we have all the herbs, and even though we have all the herbs, very few people know it like you guys know. Even though we have it right there, they don't know. They're not aware. But I want to bring all this back home, man.
We're going to start.
Come on.
Well, maybe we'll open a location there. You never know. Never know.
Cool. Is there any last thoughts, last things that you want to guys say?
The only thing that I mean, just to summarize everything, I always tell people when they come in, it's very simple. Input superfoods, remove toxic foods. That's it. It's a guarantee.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Input superfoods, remove toxic foods. They always say to me, whatever I have 2 weeks, we'll talk about it. You come through, and then they're already on the other side. Then they're sitting here where I'm sitting, and we can have a discussion. You can't have a discussion until you do 2 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, unless you do it. Yeah.
Unless you do it, then they come in, and then
raving fans.
Well, people feel good. Thank God you help people. That's what we try to do. Just try to help people.
That's
what else we got to do? What are you guys sitting here for? You getting paid millions? You ain't McDonald's.
No,
you're talking to people, trying to help people,
exactly.
trying to give motivation to people. And what else we do? What else we got to do?
That's what we got to do.
That's what we gotta do.
Yeah,
That's what you guys. So that's why I was attracted to what you guys are doing.
I appreciate it.
I want people that are real, and that it's not just about the bucks. It's got to be, bucks are important, but you got to be, you're selling the real product.
Yeah.
And you can't compromise. There's certain things you can't compromise.
Definitely no, you can't compromise. Any last thoughts, man, and anything that you want to say? What are we? The
location. We're Joseph's Organic Bakery.
I'll put everything
in the
description.
Veganbakerymiami.com is our website, based in Miami. Our phone, if anybody has health issues, interested possibly, give us a call at 954-541-4062. That's a phone number, and come on by or give us a call.
Yeah, 2 weeks. This is the claim that we're gonna have. Give them a chance for 2 weeks, and you'll see, guys. You'll definitely see.
Well, you're gonna see. You're gonna be the mouthpiece.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm already on alkaline diet though, but I mean, I'll do it. But I mean, I'd rather die than stop eating my corn tortillas. No, don't do that. Any last thought, my brother Brian?
Yeah, man, this is cool.
This is amazing. I mean, amazing people, amazing products. Thank you, everyone, for.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Take
guys.
care.
Till the next one.